Hey, what's up? And welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Also, welcome to day 2 of our 10-minute morning yoga challenge. I am so happy that you are here. In today's practice, we get the juices flowing. No items required for today's practice. Just bring your beautiful self with ya. Let's get started. All right, friends and angel, join me by standing nice and tall on your mat. Walking the feet underneath the hips, toes pointing forward, arms and hands rest at the sides, palms face forward, fingertips curling in to roll the shoulders back, creating a nice opening in our heart space. Tuck in the chin slightly, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky, standing nice and tall in our mountain pose. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Perhaps you notice whether or not there's a tendency or this desire to fidget here. Maybe playing with the hair, fixing the shirt. Just simply observe without passing any judgment. And whenever you are ready, I invite you to close your eyes or look directly past your nose. Let's take 3 breath cycles here as we settle into our practice today. Breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out through the nose or the mouth. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Open up your eyes. On our next breath in, let's send our hands up and overhead towards the sky, spreading through our fingers, and then come up onto the tiptoes. So imagine that you're reaching for your favorite snack, but it's on the top shelf. And then breathe out to float the hands back down to your sides, rocking back towards the heels. So we're lifting our toes away from the earth. Breathe in to send the hands up and overhead, reaching, coming up onto the tiptoes. So we're testing our balance, working on stability and strength. And then exhale to float the hands back down, rocking back towards the heels. Breathe in. Hands float up and overhead. Exhale, floating the hands back to our sides, rocking back towards the heels. And then breathe in to come back to that mountain pose. So we're pressing into both feet as evenly as possible, including our toes. On the next breath in, we send our hands up and overhead. Left hand grabs the right wrist, and we tilt over towards the left side, bumping our hips over towards the right, finding a side body stretch, pressing into both feet evenly, including that right foot. Breathe in, and then breathe out to rise on up, reaching here. Breathe in. Exhale, tilting over towards the right side now. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Side body stretch, bumping the hips over towards the left. Breathe in and out. Breathe in to reach on up and overhead, and then exhale to float the hands back down to your sides. So swim the hands back and behind you, interlace your fingers, reaching your hands towards the earth and then away from your body, receiving a lovely opening in our heart space. Perhaps you find some gentle movement with the neck here, tick-tocking the head from side to side, maybe even drawing some circles with the nose one way, and then maybe even the other way. And then eventually we bring our head back over our heart space. Breathe in. And then when we breathe out, begin to bend your knees, hinging forward at the hips, coming into a fold, reaching your hands towards the sky and away from your body. And last release towards the earth is the crown of your head. So we're allowing our belly to really rest on our thighs here. Now, the palms may be flush together or they may be square. So there's some space between the hands. That's perfectly fine. So inversions can feel particularly lovely first thing in the morning, encouraging the blood to flow in the opposite direction, to get the energy flowing, the juices flowing. Again, we're pressing into the full foot, including the heels. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then when we breathe out, we break free, sending the hands forward and then to our sides, straightening through our legs. And then we come to stand nice and tall. So if you're not already there, walk to the center of your mat. Send your arms from left to right and then step your feet nice and wide so they're roughly underneath the wrist points here. And we're pressing into the full foot, including that outer edge. So we're keeping our arms from left to right, palms are facing towards the earth. We draw those pinkies back to really open on up through our heart space. We're growing tall through the spine. And here we are in star pose. Let's take 2 breath cycles here together. Breathe in through your nose, and then slow breath out through the nose or mouth. Breathe in and out. Wonderful. Draw your hands together and to your heart, and then turn the toes out so that way they're facing the corners of the mat. The heels turn in. You may need to make a little bit of an adjustment with the feet depending on your anatomy. So you may need a wider stance or a more narrow one. All right, let's breathe on in. And then when we breathe out, begin to drop your center, bending at the knees tracing over top of the feet as best as possible. So we're pressing into the outer edge of our foot to avoid the knees from spilling in here. Wonderful. Find some baby pulses up and down, just stretching it out, waking up the body, waking up those legs, even getting the core engaged. Wonderful. Now release your hands out in front of you, just kind of like allow them to dangle. And then when we breathe in, let's send our hands up and overhead, straightening through the legs, fingertips come together. Breathe out to float the hands back down, and at the same time, we're bending at our knees, dropping our center. All right, 2 more just like that. Breathe in. Let's rise on up, straightening through the legs, look up. Exhale, bending at the knees, drop in that center. 1 more, breathe in. And out. 1 breath cycle here. We breathe in. And then we breathe out to rise on up. Give the hips a little bit of a shake. Doing a dance. All right. Turn the toes in. And then heel toe, the feet. So that way they're a little bit wider than your hips. Toes are pointing forward. And we're also finding a very soft bend in our knees. All right. Arms and hands rest at our sides. Let's twist our upper body towards the right, and then over to the left. Right, left, right, and left. So we're gonna keep this action going, and perhaps we pick up the pace, meaning that we go a little bit faster. Maybe you notice that the arms and the hands take up a little bit more space. The hands maybe gently tap in the body. Allow that to happen, just have some fun with it. And maybe we begin to integrate the breath into the action. So what I mean by this is we breathe in when we twist to the right, breathe out to the left. So keep this action going. So this is actually one of my go-to movements when I'm feeling very low in energy, when I want to get those juices flowing to feel more energized in both my mind and my body. I also go to this movement whenever I'm feeling stressed or anxious. It just really helps me feel better, turning that frown upside down. All right, a few more rounds. Bottom line is I really hope that this serves you well. All right. And then we gradually begin to slow it down. Eventually our arms and hands rest at our sides. We find stillness. Let's now heel toe, the feet back together, nice and together. So the feet are together, the legs are together. We're kind of like a zipper, zipping on up through our body. Breathe in to send the hands from left to right. Breathe out to send the hands up and overhead. Breathe in to reach. Breathe out, hands float back down to our heart center, and feel free to bow your head here. Permission to close the eyes or even just soften the gaze. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Perhaps you even reflect upon what postures or what movements really got that energy flowing, got the juices flowing, and that now you're feeling nice and energized. And perhaps you take those movements or you take those postures with you, You know, you don't always just do them on the mat, but maybe you also do them off of the mat at any point throughout your day. Let's take one final loving breath in together through the nose and then sigh it out through your mouth. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice, and I cannot wait to see you for day number 3 tomorrow. Until then, take good care. Namaste.